Alright, so here we have a parallel circuit. 100 volt power supply and 3 resistors, 5, 10, and 15 ohms. So parallel circuit is where the resistors are parallel. There's the power supply. And current is flowing through the circuit, and it is flowing, some of the current flows through this resistor, some of it through this resistor, some of it through this resistor. Remember, for a parallel circuit, the currents add together. And the resistance is the same for all of them. So we have 100 volts, so we can fill in that 100 volt all the way down the line for all 3 resistors. We also know the value of the resistors, 5, 10, and 15, because those are given. We do not add them together. We're going to have to use Ohm's law to figure out what that is. So we know this, we know this. We can apply Ohm's law to figure out the current for each one. Ohm's law, V equals IR. Solve it for I. It's V divided by R. So 100 divided by 5 is 20 amps, or amperes. 100 divided by 10 is 10. And 100 divided by 15. 100 divided by 15 gives us 6.7. 6.7. We can add these together. The currents add together. The current through each individual branch will equal the total current coming out of the battery. So that's 36.7 amperes. And then we can apply Ohm's law to figure out what this resistance is. R is equal to V divided by I. 100 divided by 36.7. Giving us 2.7 ohms. So keep in mind that with parallel circuits, you can't add them together, and the total resistance, the resistance that the battery sees, or any power supply sees, is always going to be smaller than the smallest resistor in that parallel series, or in that parallel circuit rather. And that's it. Let's take a real quick look. What would happen if we had those 3 resistors in series instead? I'm still going to make the table. There we go. Here's the table. Here's the circuit. These are in series. Oh, and I should have put a resistor in there. So that would be R1, R2, R3. We have 100 volt. That's equal to 5 ohms. R2 is equal to 10 ohms. R3 is equal to 15 ohms. So, this is our voltage, current, and resistance. 1, 2, 3, and then that's the total. So we still have 100 total volts, but we don't know the voltage drop across each one of these, so we can't fill these in. For the current, remember in a series circuit, the current is all the same, and it's the resistors that add together. So we have 5, 10, 15, and those add together to give us 10, 20, 30 ohms. So once you know these 2 things, you can apply Ohm's law. I is equal to V over R to get the total current. 100 divided by 30, 3.3 amps. And if you have 3.3 amps coming out of the battery, there's only one path for it to take, so everywhere in the circuit you have 3.3, 3.3, 3.3. To get the voltage, we just multiply these 2 numbers together. That's Ohm's law, V equals IR. So 3.3 times 5, 16.5. 3 times 3 times 10, or 3.3 times 10 is 33. 3.3 times 15 is 49.5. And we've solved the problem. That's all there is to it. So that's for the series circuit. And the other one was parallel.